Thank you. 6:34. The legislative session is coming to an end and hundreds of bills are ready for a final decision.
Dallas Ontiveros joins us live from the state capitol with all the details. Morning, Dallas.
Hey, good morning, Christine Ross, and to everyone waking up with us today. And yes, let's see what the future looks like. And here joining us on Wake Up Today is our state representative, David Tarnas, who's also the Judiciary Chair for the House. Good morning. How is it going?
Good morning. I'm grateful to be here.
Awesome. So with it being the last day, what are your thoughts? Has everything digested yet?
We're still got a session to have today where we're going to pass out a number of bills and very important appropriation bills and the budget. So we still have more work to do, but we are approaching the end.
All right. Well, we'll be there to capture it all. But as far as this legislative session, you mentioned to me off camera that this was the first year as a Judiciary Chair. So were there any surprises as far as expectations you had that met with the realities? What can you share with us?
Well, I knew that it was going to be a difficult job, but when the speaker first asked me to do this in December, I just took a deep breath and said yes, because these are very important issues that we need to address, and I wanted to do everything I can to help address these issues. At things like ethics reform, improving people's trust in our government. So I knew that we would have a number of bills that we would be considering that came from our House-created Commission to Improve Standards of Conduct, and we were successful.
Yeah, let's expand on that, because we have covered a lot of different stories, unfortunately, with lawmakers not being at their best and involved with different activities. But as far as the bills and what has been worked on, what can you share with us so we can prevent that from happening again, and also so we could gain the trust between lawmakers and the people of Hawaii?
Thank you. Yeah, so the Commission to Improve Standards of Conduct came out with about 30-some recommendations. A number of them were bills, some of them were rule changes. We actually passed and approved about 20 of those, and some of them we were able to get House and Senate Judiciary Committee's agreement on, but we didn't get our Finance or Ways and Means Committee agreement on. So we'll have to come back and work on those. And then some of the recommendations we implemented through rules. Like in the House, we implemented a rule change to prevent nepotism in our hiring practices. But we did pass some very significant bills that strengthened our state laws to prevent public corruption and fictitious and fraudulent claims and obstruction of justice. And all of those will help prevent the cases that we did experience, 2 legislators who were indicted for accepting bribes. We were all outraged about that, and we needed to take action, and we did take action. And we also took action to improve our integrity of elections, to reform our campaign finance laws, and I think those are, as a body, a very significant step forward.
Those are all very important pieces and something we covered as well. Now, we are on limited time right here, but I want to go over some key issues that you could share with us as far as what's been done in the session. Women's health care.
Thank you. Yeah, there are 2 U.S. Supreme Court decisions that we needed to address in this session. First of them was we needed to pass a bill that protects women's rights to make their own reproductive health care decisions. And we did. That was the second bill that the governor signed this year. We moved it through quickly through the House and Senate, and I really want to acknowledge the cooperative work between the House and Senate Judiciary and Health Committees on that. So that was very, very big. The second major U.S. Supreme Court decision we had to address is to set up a system in the state for concealed carry weapon licenses. And we did pass that out as well, and it's a fair bill that protects public safety and also protects the Second Amendment rights of those people who want to carry guns.
And last question, what can you share about the criminal justice system, anything about our prisons and overcrowding in that sense?
Well, we certainly have to do more to address the prison overcrowding issue. We debated and passed out of the House a number of measures that try to incorporate the best practices for pretrial detention to try to reduce our prison population by releasing those who are nonviolent, people who are charged with crimes that are nonviolent. They shouldn't be in prison waiting their trial. They should be out. So we're trying to make changes in the system so that the prison isn't so overcrowded. We still have to do more work on that.
All right. Well, we look forward to an update. Thank you so much, Representative Tarnas, for your time.
Thank you very much for covering the story.
Absolutely. We're happy to be here. We'll be out here throughout Wake Up Today and Take 2, so make sure you stay with us every half hour to get the details at the end of the legislative session. And you can also visit our website, KH12.com, to brush up everything that we've been talking about and the topics related to them. Report over here at the scene, Dallas Ontiveros, KH12 News, working for Hawaii.
All right. Thanks so much, Dallas.